Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with some breaking news. Tristan Jarry is no longer a Pittsburgh Penguins. That's right, this morning, Kyle Dubas finalized a trade with the Edmonton Oilers where Tristan Jarry and Sam Poulin will no longer be wearing the black and gold. They are both moving on to Edmonton. And boy, I tell you, this came as a shock to me. I did not see this coming. I don't think anybody really did. I know there were some rumors out there that, maybe there might be something going on, but everybody was, including myself, was like, they're not going to trade Jari now. He's playing pretty good. There's no way. He was 9-4 for us this year, with 14 points, 909 save percentage. That's the best he's been in a while. Last year, we would have traded him for a bag of pucks. But this year, he came out focused, looks good, and let's face it, Edmonton wanted him. So who got traded? Those two guys got traded. In return, we get their goalie, Skinner, and we get a defenseman, a 28-year-old defenseman, and Brett Kulak. They basically had to trade two guys because Edmonton needed to free up the salary to be able to keep Jari. He signed for $5.375 million, and the two guys, Skinner and Kulak, let's see, $2.6 million, $2.75 million. So yeah, it's about this. It's basically the same salary. So they couldn't take on any more salary. I know Edmonton did want to keep Skinner, but they couldn't do both. They couldn't keep him. They didn't have enough space. And we sent a prospect with them with Sam Poulin. Sam Poulin just wasn't fitting in with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was a 2019 first round pick for us, and he just never could find a spot. He was up here for a little bit, and he just really just couldn't seem to find what was going on with him. Yeah, Derpy, that's right. Technically, it's not breaking news because it was this morning, but it's breaking news for me. I'd usually wait and do some analysis on things. I'm just giving you my thoughts on it right now. But Jari is okay. Yeah, I mean, Edmonton wanted him. They really wanted him. He's from Edmonton. They think that, he's back. They need a goalie. Skinner hadn't been playing too good for them this year. He was 11-12 for them with 26 points, .891 save percentage. Anytime you're below 900, people are definitely going to sour upon that. I do agree with you, Derpy. I do think they are going to make more positive moves in the future. They're freeing up some future money. Now they don't have to pay him that 5.375. That's freeing up that money for next year. It's a big move for the Penguins in that sense. Let's talk a little bit about Kulikov. He's 28-year-old. The fact that he shoots left, that's probably why we went to get him, because he can play on that third pair. He can play with anybody. He can play with Clifton. He can play with Dumba. And even if Brunicky comes back, now Brunicky's not on the roster now. He went to the junior tournament, so he's not going to be on a roster. But that doesn't disclude Brunicky from doing anything. The bad news for any Pittsburgh Penguin defenseman would be with Ryan Graves and definitely with Owen Pickering. They must be not ready. They must not think that Pickering is ready to come up and take that left-handed spot. The reality is they only have Kulak for this year. They don't have to re-sign him for next year. So maybe they're thinking Pickering will be ready next year. I think, I wouldn't be too, Derpy, say that Jari's experience in depth. Remember what he did in the playoffs for us. He did absolutely nothing for us in the playoffs. Now I know he's an all-star and he's had good regular seasons. That's true. And this year he's been playing good. I wish him nothing but the best in Edmonton, to be completely honest with you, because I think that the change will help him. And I'm hoping that Skinner's change out of Edmonton, no longer having to, well, he'll still have to be the guy here, but we still have Sheloff, so he's still probably going to play that Sheloff in and out game. So I think overall you got to look at this positive. Also, the Pittsburgh Penguins did get a 2029 second rounder in this also, so that's pretty good. anytime you can get a first or second round pick for anything, that's the positive thing. I talked about why Edmonton wanted him. They love him. They think he's their guy now. So, and he's going to be their guy. They got him for this year and 2 more years at that salary level. I think that salary level is okay for him, especially now that the cap keeps moving up and up and up. I think it's fine. I do agree with you that, the Penguins Penguins fans do get attached to players, but I don't think very many people were attached to Jarry. Certainly not like Flower, and he was the goalie before him. And Murray, I think they were probably a little bit more attached to Murray, but probably down on Murray because, he replaced Fleury. So I don't think that the Penguins are going to take right away to Skinner fans wise. Well, let's see what he can do. He's not been too good this year, but I'm hoping maybe with a more defensive structure that the Pittsburgh Penguins play, that'll be a benefit for Skinner. Maybe he can get back. He was great last year. Skinner was awesome last year. This year he didn't seem to have it. And Edmonton is 4th in the Pacific and they're 7th in the West. So they needed something to change. They need to be further up. I think they believe in the rankings. And I think that's essentially why the trade got made today, this morning. What does it mean for the Pittsburgh Penguins? I told you, with the defensive, but what does it mean in goal? That's very interesting because now you're looking at Murashov coming up. Murashov was up here for just a bit. I think they got a small taste of him. They liked what they saw, but they didn't want to have to play that Murashov Jarry thing because Jarry was here for too long, with his contract. Now you got Skinner only here for this year. If you sign Skinner next year, you can sign him to, basically a friendly contract where you can make Murashov your number 1 guy. They may do that in the spring. That's speculation on my part, but they're going to wait till after. I believe they're going to wait till after the Olympics, if there even is an Olympics. That's a whole nother story. But I think they're going to wait till after that to see maybe if they bring Murashov up for a spring run. It all depends where the Pens are in the standings. If they're where they are now, I don't know what they're going to do, but it definitely means 100% next year. This is Murashov's job. He's going to be your starting goalie next year for the Penguins, and that's probably a little bit sooner than everybody thought, but who cares? That's great. I love it. Bring up the youth. I'm a big fan of this. I'm happy that Dubas is really making these moves to be able to get rid of some of these long contracts. And I think that's really, honestly, at the end of the day, which is a cliche, but at the end of this trade, I think you're going to see that this is going to be worth it. The worst thing that can happen is Skinner's an absolute dud. He's a terrible goalie and nobody likes him and he can't stop, a beach ball. Then you'll see Murashov sooner. I think that's all that it really matters for. Derpy's hoping for a young guy, but I wouldn't mind a vet either. Yeah, I mean, definitely when you're talking about adding more players, they're not going to add a vet. I doubt very seriously they're going to add a vet. There's talk of Quinn Hughes coming here. I don't really know about that. He would be a great get. Don't get me wrong. I think he would be fantastic. But they got to think about the future. They can't be, bringing on somebody that's 28, and that's what Kulak is, but they're not going to keep him probably. But he is solid. He'll play 15, 16, maybe 17 minutes a night. And, he's a -7 for the year. So he's good on the third pairing. That's exactly where he belongs. And that's where he plays. But I'll tell you what, it frees up some money for next year. I think they're going to make a big move in the offseason. And we shouldn't be talking about the offseason, but since we're talking about trades, we're talking about kind of the focus of where the Pittsburgh Penguins are. I think that's going to set them up for going and getting a big top name for maybe the center position on the second line. They still got to address the Geno situation for next year, but they're going to go get a big top 6 forward. You watch next year, they're going to go after somebody big. And I think that's ultimately what the Pittsburgh Penguins are looking to do. And that's the breaking news. That's it. breaking news, right? You're right. This morning's breaking news, I guess I should say. But when you got a job to be at and you got to come home, that's exactly what you got to do. So the Pittsburgh Penguins have traded Tristan Jarry. I'm happy for Jarry. I think he's going to get a good start out there in Edmonton. He's going to be the guy. So, I hope he doesn't buckle under the pressure. And I would imagine that, this makes Connor McDavid happy. The really interesting thing is, and this is just probably happenstance, guess who's coming to town on Tuesday? That's right. You know it. It's the Edmonton Oilers. So they'll have the tribute video. People stand and cheer for Jarry, I'm sure. Anytime a former player comes back, and Jarry's been with the team for a while now, I think he'll get a good ovation from the crowd. At least I hope he does. And let's just hope that it goes to a shootout, huh? I say that tongue in cheek. I have no idea if Skinner's any better in the shootout, but he can't be worse than what we were going with before. And the problem with the shootout isn't necessarily the saves; it's also scoring. So that's the way it is. So that's the breaking news. The one other thing I want to plug. And by the way, if you like what you're hearing, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell. I'm here after every single Pittsburgh Penguins game. I'm giving you the skinny on what I feel as a lifetime Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Never played the game, just analyze it from the time that I go to games and watch games. I watch every single Pittsburgh Penguins game. So I'm sharing my analysis with you. It's probably wet sometimes and it's probably dumb sometimes, but hey, I'm just a guy. So if you like it, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell. I also wrote an article. Check it out. It's over at our website, theporcheslive.com. theporcheslive.com. I'm starting to write articles on the guys that are kind of new to the team. Tommy Novak is who I'm starting with. You know why. I love Tommy Novak. I was having a discussion today with a coworker who didn't really like Tommy Novak. So I hope he goes there and checks out the article on Tommy Novak. I'm planning on doing it for all the new guys eventually. So I started with my favorite, Tommy. So go over to theporcheslive.com and check that out. So that's it. Pittsburgh Penguins will play tomorrow. I would imagine Kulak and Skinner. Skinner probably, I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup. It'll be interesting. I looked at lineups, lineups.com, whatever that website is, starting lineups. They didn't even have him on the roster yet. So we'll see what happens. So, hey, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I'll catch you after the game on Saturday when the Pittsburgh Penguins play the San Jose Sharks. Until then, people, have a good one. See you later.